Hola Kao, my name is Malibongwe Vuntu. I'm also known as Mr. Michael Simpson, right? I'm a rapper, producer, videographer, graphic designer, musician. I'm basically in the arts. All right, so I'm from Kimberley 053. My block is Faris, block 9. All right, so shouts out to Black Spot Media for putting me on this platform. So I'm gonna tell you a little bit about how I started and where I'm at with this journey of music, So I started making music, or I started rapping back in 2006, I started rapping because my bro battled me, my bro Mali Z. Like, we were back in primary school back in 2006. So he came from Pretoria. It's something new that he learned, and then he demonstrated it to me by straight up dissing me. And then I was like, I'm not having that. I gotta learn how to do this thing myself, So I started rapping. I started writing my own things, All right. Fast forward 2007, Z and I, we were a rap duo. So we decided we need to record now. So we recorded our first song at Gaps' studio. If you're from Kimberley and you rap, you will know about Gaps. So Gaps is like one of the oldest producers, or one of the first producers, who allowed a lot of artists to go and record at his studio. We recorded our first, and our first song was a diss track, by the way. All right. Fast forward 2007, I moved to Durban with Mali Z, All right. Durban is where I learned a lot more about the hip-hop culture, because it's a lot bigger in Durban. Hip-hop is a whole lot bigger in Durban than it is in Kimberley. Yeah. So in Durbs, there's things such as Live Check, where every last Sunday of every month, there would be like a hip-hop show where we would go to, meet actual notable hip-hop artists. We can even get on stage. There's even an open mic, so there was always an opportunity to be involved in the art. Okay, that was 2007. Fast forward 2008, still in Durban, still in high school. That's when I started learning how to be a producer, That's when I joined my second crew, known as D-Dub. Forgot to mention my first crew. The first rap crew that I've ever joined was known as Nexus with Mali Z. All right, and my rap name back then, it was Bonks the Spectacular. All right, fast forward, D-Dub. My name was still Bonks the Spectacular, but I was just a rapper. I learned how to freestyle. We were heavily influenced by a lot of underground music back then. All right, sharp. Fast forward even more, 2009, when I was in matric, that's when I actually knew how to make beats now. I learned how to make beats from a homie called Diabolic. Shouts out to Diabolic all the way in Durban. Yeah, the type of beats that I started making were boom bap beats, that quintessential 90s, if you can hear that. We used to sample a lot as well. Sharp. Fast forward again along the journey, the more I do this thing, the better I get at it, the more I love it. Even the people that I started making this music with recognized Bongs, you good at this, you know what I'm saying? Keep on going. So I changed my name from Bongs the Spectacular to Mr. Michael Simpson, That was in 2010, right? So sharp. 2009, I finished school, come back to Kimberley 2011. After doing that course, I did a course, basic ambulance assistance, immediately after matric. I'm a paramedic shandis. All right, don't worry about that. I'm still doing it. And then 2012, I was in Kimberley. I joined a crew called KMV, Kimberley Music Veterans, also known as Notorious Veterans. That's where I met Cool as well. Cool was also a part of Kimberley Notorious Veterans, by the way. Recorded my first single, as a solo artist over there. One day you'll hear it. It was probably dope, you know. I used to specialize in love songs. Fast forward, 2013, I go back to Durban. 2014, I come back, and then I formed a group called KTN with the fellas. So KTN was like another highlight in my life, you know, because when I started forming KTN, there was this thing that I used to do where I record different artists from the hood or from Kimberley per se to come and showcase their skills in the form of a 16-bar verse, you know. So I had this thing called 16 of the week, where the fellas would come through to the studio, they would record on a particular tempo, and then I would build the beat on top of those vocals after they recorded their verse. They have to come prepared, obviously. And then because of that 16 of the week, I got a lot of recognition from a lot of artists, specifically in the Northern Cape, even outside. And I even got nominated for an SA Hip Hop Award, you know, as King of Kimberley. They even spelled my name wrong. Sharp. But I will apply again. And then I didn't get that award because I didn't pull up to the awards. Sharp. That was in 2014-15. 2018, still with KTN, you know. It's a notable crew in Kimberley. That's when my production skills have elevated to the point where people are even trying to compete with me. So the highlight in 2018 was this tape that we made with the crew, KTN. We called it DFA. That was probably the most controversial tape that has ever been released in the Northern Cape. We nearly got sued by independent, you know, the owners of DFA. Apparently we used their logo, and that was infringement of, you know, intellectual property, but we were using it as satire, you know. That tape was one of the toppest highlights. Like, we could have blown up, still can. And then fast forward from that highlight, I kept on doing what I dala, you know, just as I advise people to do what you dala. When was this? 2000 and... Okay, we come from 2014, 15. Kept on doing what we do. I've recorded a lot more. Like, I'd say I've recorded 95% of artists who are currently making music in Kimberley right now. You know, to mention a few: Term, Cool, Menu, Cody, MVX, Keys Africa, you know, Lepsy. So there's this chandi called the Back to the City 10K Challenge. You know? It happens every single year. Back to the City is like the most prominent, you know, hip hop festival in the entire Africa. You know what I'm saying? So I knew about Back to the City 10 years ago. The first time I went back to the city was 10 years ago, and it was crazy. Like, I was like, hey, I need to be here every single year, you know. So I found out, Uguti, there's this thing called the 10K Challenge at the Back to the City. So I just did some research on how to enter that competition, all right. So the first time I tried it out, never made it through, you know. Took me like 6-7 tries before my beat made it through to the top 20, you know. So this year, 2024, was the first time I actually competed in the Back to the City 10K Challenge, you know. Yeah, that was just last week. Yeah, I could tell you about that. Like, let me give you a story. And like, the week before that, we were running around looking for funding to get transi to go to. It was like a stressful. And then I got sharp at least a little bit of a cut to go to Josie, but like I couldn't, like unfortunately I couldn't go to Josie with my squad. You know, I was one man, gun man. I was paranoid. Sharp. I got the crew and booked the chandi, at least managed to even get a transi, you know, with the fellas down. Like I have a couple of Owens down to have a janga. So we pull up with the janga after getting on the bus. Coolio. I arrived in Josie's were 9 a.m. Like, funny thing, when I pull up to collect my ticket at the Africa Museum for the Back to the City Shandis, DJ Switch, that's it, you know what I'm saying? Sharp. I holla at my phone calls, I quite deal with my peoples, and then Lipsy tells me, hey, when I holla at DJ Switch, okay, sharp, I drop the phone call, I go to DJ Switch, I holla at the boo, you know. I'll wear DJ Switch shout out, my bra, and then right when I was about to say my bra, DJ Switch just cuts me, you know, and then he treats me like I want an autograph or some stuff like that. But otherwise, it's easy, you know. I get buy, as it say buy, I get buy me, oh, you know, celebrity. You know, that was my first encounter, you know, with a celebrity, you know what I'm saying. But otherwise, moving forward, I got my ticket for Back to the City. At least my bras done, I can't, they're moving forward, you know. They live in Sandton Hood, you know, so it was pull up in my bras flat in Sandton, that's what the view is, you know what I'm saying. Even my Jewish on that day, you know, it was tops, so sharp. Back to the city, the game day, I pull up. God, man, but for they dropped me off because they couldn't even afford a ticket. They didn't even give me like complimentary tickets for my squad. Sharp, I stand in line. They even gave me a general tag, you know. Sharp. It was stressful that day. When I get there, now I have to look for the stage, you know, where I'm gonna compete. Because they told me, oh, you guys are supposed to be there on time for this chandi, so find the stage before you can relax and enjoy the show. You know, so I didn't even get a chance to, you know, connect with people there. I was so busy looking for this stage. But luckily, at least, I found the other competitors, you know, who were also looking for the stage. So I was rolling with them. Luckily, at least, we had a crew of the competitors for the 10K challenge. And then time flew, like, these people were like looping date before they actually told us where the stage is. They could have just told us, okay, here's the stage buffet to go enjoy the show, you know. But sharp, it was a part of the suspense. I appreciate it. It's not. Finally, boom, the chandi happens at about, what time? 9 o'clock. I pulled up at 6, you know. The show was been happening. Like, Back to the City, it's too amazing. It's too top. Sharp, it's been happening 6 o'clock. 9 o'clock, away, the battle commences, you know. The 10K challenge commences. We see the judges. I only remember 3 of the judges, you know. It was Zagwe, Zinga, and Twizy, you know. So let me tell you straight, like, let me go straight to the jugs of when I got on stage over there. Sharp, they calling my name, Mr. Mekosens, and I pull up on the stage, Back to the City, beat battle competition there, you know. I faced them, okay, sharp. They do a coin flip shanties, you know, head or tails. I choose tails, he chooses head, we flip it. Sharp, it lenses on tails, ne? I chose tails, so I'm like, okay, sharp, let me go first. I go in first, tell my beat, the beat that I played, you know, like when the 808 drops, you know, right when the 808 drops, the beat goes boom, and then it goes whoosh, you know. Like the moment it went like that, like I could see the crowd reaction, I could see the judges reacting, like, yo, which one is this one, you know? And I was reenacting the feel of that beat, you know. So as the beat is playing, I go to this guy with 7s like this, you know, like a gangster. You know, I point him out. The moment the beat drops, I come by him with a 7 on the neck there, you know. It was like an epic, you know, entailment of this chani. Sharp. Okay, and then he played his beat. It was a J Squad type of beat. The crowd reacted, you know. But like, hey, the judges, they chose that man over me. Otherwise, it's, you know. I had the experience. I even felt, I was feeling a little bit pop that day, you know what I'm saying? Tell my walk of shame. I congratulated the O. Shouts out to Gang Related, you know. We're gonna make beats with that man. I have his WhatsApp number. Yeah, that was my Back to the City experience, you know, just last week. Yeah, so my advice, you know, that I wish that I have always had is to value yourself, you know. Like, you have to realize that you are a want at some point. You know what I'm saying? It's not being cocky, not at all, because you are your biggest critique. If you can realize that you will want, you're going to take it to the next level, my guys. So you must realize you will want, you know. And that's about it. Otherwise, the journey continues, the marathon continues, as Nope would say, RIP to the Nope dealer's number. But yeah, shouts out to Black Spot Media for putting me on this platform. Signing out. It's Mr. Mac Wilson.